Delta program to Julia Lauer.
Washington, class of 2012, congratulations, each and every one of you. Thanks again. Each and every one of you should be so proud of yourself. I'd like to begin by talking about a topic that is very familiar to me, a comfort zone of mine since age 3, numbers. I don't know why it is I love numbers so much. I think it may be because you can always be told if you're right or wrong. In a subject like humanities, you can turn in a persuasive essay and get points knocked off for grammar, spelling, etc. But a teacher cannot possibly tell you that your thoughts are, in a sense, wrong. But in math, there's always one right answer, no arguments. Someone can tell you if you are right. And maybe that's something we all want to hear. Like the difference between winning and tying for some sort of excellence award. It's better to be fully correct than simply neutral. Maybe it's just me. I liked numbers because they always showed a certain degree of brightness. And numbers spoke the truth. And numbers tell stories about people. Numbers are people, right? Wrong. In the past, numbers have made me a person I'm truly afraid of at times. I've become neurotic and grade obsessed, often overseeing how fortunate I am to have my friends, my hobbies, my family. Numbers were my best and my worst friend. I loved them, more so than anything else, but at the same time, they scared me into obedience, abused me, blinded me from seeing beyond those numbers into all of the quote-unquote wrong things in life. I'm aware of the fact that numbers can make a person extremely happy, whether it be the ranking of honor roll, a test grade, or a number of books a student has read. They can also break that person in the same way that they make them. Numbers set standards. They set social norms. They determine class. They give labels. If someone gets honor roll, they are suddenly called smart and feel pressured into maintaining that place and label. A test grade can make a student's family, teacher, and friends disappointed, and it is then that they hear the standard, "You should have done better." You are not allowed to move on to the next grade unless you've read 40 books. So if you do not finish those 40, maybe you'll be called lazy, illiterate, slow. For all of your failures in these categories, you may be called stupid. But this school has taught me that we're worth so much more than a number. This school has taught me about different people, beautifully different people. I've met piano prodigies, future Christina Aguileras, miniature Picassos, some upcoming Emily Dickinsons. I've met people who were born in France, Italy, Romania, Russia. I've met the most incredibly perceptive, caring, kind-hearted people, and I met those with a sixth sense, an extreme devotion to mankind, an all-knowing power that can pinpoint exactly who a person is. I've had the honor of knowing and befriending and loving these people. Booker T. Washington has the most ridiculously diverse community, more so than any other school I know. And what else is there to say but thank you? Numbers are multi-purpose. They don't just define people, but they set certain ideals and goals. If I were to say the number 100, who here would automatically think I was discussing a high grade? Would anyone think to themselves, oh yeah, 100 AD, that was when the temple of the god of medicine was built in China? For those of you who are saying yes, there must be something wrong because I had to Google that. I don't know what they were saying. My point being that the number 100 is prized by students, a rare delicacy that can make everyone smile. But all too often have I seen those tears of disappointment when a student does not get a 3-digit grade. But this student was the best soccer player. I've seen that agonizing ugh as someone almost makes honor roll but misses it by a point. But they were the best artist in my class. I've seen faces of total embarrassment as someone fails a test, and I think to myself, hold on a second. This person runs like an Olympic track star. But suddenly, it doesn't matter that they are all of these wonderful things. In these moments, they become their number. Not their unique being that has made them so glorious, you're going to look back on your life and see that you were not and were never a number. You knew you were a good student, but you were smart in so many other ways too. The happy times, the times you will remember most, are impossible to measure with a number. You will think about the amazing people you've met, their talents, their achievements, not their numeric value. You will think about your loved ones and the adventures you went on. You will think about the times you made a bad decision and laughed at them. You will think about those tests you failed, and chuckle because you knew you were so much smarter than that. Smarter than the test, I mean, not the grade. The funny thing is that we never think to ourselves, in our moment of academic failure, that maybe it wasn't our fault. That maybe we were smarter than the test, that the test was wrong. In these life reviewing moments, hopefully you will understand that it was not all your fault, that you failed or did poorly, even though you thought it was all you. Everything is flawed, even that test and that teacher that told you you were wrong. They have been wrong too. And for those with the nerve to somehow say that numbers can always predict future success, listen closely. 20. Albert Einstein was believed to be mentally slow, unsociable, forever in his foolish dreams by his teachers. He later won a Nobel Peace Prize in physics and is known for being one of the greatest, if not the greatest, scientists of the 20th century. 75. Cher seldom got above a C or a 75 on her report card, and in her junior year, she simply quit. Her teachers told her she wasn't living up to her potential. She's now a widely known singer, actress, and entertainer. 2. Winston Churchill was regularly punished in school for failure or lack of effort, and often failed out of the same class numerous times. He won the Nobel Peace Prize for Literature, was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom during World War II, and is regarded as being one of the world's greatest leaders. 4 billion. As a child, Agatha Christie had severe trouble with writing and spelling. Until the day she died, she continued to be an awful speller. She had sold more books than anyone other than William Shakespeare, selling over 4 billion copies of various novels. Each and every one of you is capable of so much, and you should always push yourselves forward. Just before you go into high school, do not go in expecting that everything will be a breeze. Don't beat yourselves up about it. Everyone sitting in this room can accomplish anything they set their mind to. Pardon the cliche. But remember that no matter how hard the years to come may be, keep your head up and remember these words. Do not remember the numbers. Remember the feeling of receiving your diploma. Remember these faces, because these are the faces that have motivated you, who love you, who will be yearning for you to move them forward. There's not one person sitting here that has grown into who they are today without the help of another person. Everyone has someone backing them up, supporting them, forming them. So in return, remind yourself that you have been both the supporter and the supportee, and be grateful and remember this flowing, flowering, ever-growing community. My final comment is that no matter how much I try, I cannot put numbers into a goodbye. I've always found comfort in numbers, but now, when I need them most, they fail me. I can receive mine. I can receive numbers on every one of my tests, papers, and so on and so forth. That will never leave you fully satisfied. I've realized that despite my grades and my efforts to maintain them, there's always something I was missing. A small piece that has left me slightly empty as I stand here before you today. An emptiness I'm hoping to fill by saying all this. As one of my mentors, Mr. Erickson, once told us, people often stray from words because they are afraid of them. They resort to other forms of expression. You know the basics, art, music, etc. But you cannot hide from words forever. You cannot escape from their reality. I refuse to escape from their reality.